Hello everyone, it's Justin Dawson. It's Bank Holiday Monday, the 7th of August. You're tuned to the All Things TechIE podcast, episode 81, where we're going to talk about the X and Elon Musk. He's back there again. And also about letting your kids use mobile phones and limiting their time. It's all coming up. Episode 81 of the All Things Techie podcast.
Here's the show that loves to talk about gadgets and gizmos, from A-Logic to Yamaha, cameras to control panels. You get what I mean. We love talking all things techie. In fact, that's the name of the show. And here is your host.
Welcome along to episode 81 of the All Things Techie podcast. My name is Justin Dawson. You can see me on screen with this brand new X down the bottom corner of the screen. What's all that about? I don't know. Okay. Twitter's gone. Long live the bird. Twitter is gone, listeners. Sad to see that the blue is gone and we're replaced with X. What's all this X about? I actually don't know. It sounds very pornographic. We're not talking anything adult in this program. But very, very questionable about the X. If you want to contact me, the details are on the bottom of the screen. You can X me, apparently. X me. Or post to me, because we can't say tweet anymore. You can post to me at Justin or Dawson, at AV Tech Junkies. We are also on YouTube. If you are listening to the program, wherever you get your podcasts, you can also watch me on YouTube, because it makes a lot more sense watching the program on YouTube, because we do things like this. Hold up a picture of a Catchbox. Thanks to the guys of Catchbox to send me a little foam cube that I'm going to be using at conferences when I go across. And there it is, the All Things Techie podcast official Catchbox. Thanks to the guys at Catchbox for I'm just after throwing that across the studio. There we go. Thanks to the guys at Catchbox for sending me across that little gift. And if you want to see any of my product reviews, you can also do that by visiting the YouTube link below at Justin_Dawson. You can also catch me on Instagram if you're looking at the little shorts going on, the little vertical shorts. You can catch us on Twitter and on Instagram. Justin_Dawson. Now, so much has been happening in the world of Twitter and Twitter being gone. Twitter rebranded as X and changed the name. Here's what it means. The internet is abuzz with the app formerly known as Twitter announced a name change this month. I know I have been away. Actually, before I go on about Twitter and X, I call a lot of you guys out on social media. Yes, I said that I was going on a cruise with all the Dawson family. Gotcha if you've seen that on social media. I was over in Liverpool and having a great time with the family. Visited Knowsley Safari, did Otter's Pool, and of course, since I'm a Liverpool supporter, I've lost half my audience now going, you're what? I'm a Liverpool supporter, so we visited Anfield as well, and a nice little trip post my 40th birthday. That was a couple of months ago. The internet is abuzz with the app formerly known as Twitter announced the name change last week. X.com now redirects to Twitter.com. The company's headquarters now sports a flashing X, where once there was a bird logo, the app now appears as X in the Apple and Google app stores. Now, this was great fun, listeners and viewers, because it seems like in drips and drabs, crazy things happened during the rebrand of X. For example, when Elon Musk decided, I'm going to close the road and change the sign, the local police were called and said, what do you think you guys are doing? You can't just close the road. So here's a little video that of them closing the road in California to take down the Twitter sign, to take down the bird, and replace it with a flashing sign that literally, it was like something that you would see out of Batman coming along and just going, here's the big X, flash, 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 flash. This neon sign kept the neighborhood awake, and there is legal actions going on about the actual sign being so vibrant and bright late at night for whatever reason that Elon Musk decided that he was going to do that. Twitter is acquired by the X Corp, who both ensure the freedom of speech as accelerant of X and the Everything app, the company owner Elon Musk recently said. The Twitter's name has a sense when it comes to a 140 character message going back and forth, like birds tweeting, but now you can post almost anything, including several hours of video. In months to come, we will add a comprehensive communications and the ability to conduct your entire financial world, he added. Now, we'll be getting to that. Is Elon Musk trying to create the one-size-fits-all app? Yes, he is. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes' time. Musk has been vocal about its goal turning of Twitter into a so-called super app, something like China's WeChat. WeChat over in China, you do absolutely everything with. You can do your transactions, you can do your online banking, you can talk about social media, all in one app. Sounds really, really dangerous to me, in my view. There's no American equivalent of such an app, but the industry experts imagine an app that will encompass basically anything a person wants to do online. Consumers of the app can do a lot of different things on the platform, whether it's listen to a podcast, shop, watch videos, said Nia Hearn, Chief Strategy Officer at the marketing firm TechIE. I probably pronounced that wrong, it's a Chinese word, but that own WeChat. People have been asking, what is with the letter X? Musk appears to have a long-standing fixation with the letter X, dubbing its very first startup X.com. After the merger, the app became PayPal, although Musk reportedly pushed for it to keep the name X, according to the biographer Walter Isaacson. After buying Twitter, Musk reportedly texted Isaacson and that he was very excited about finally implementing X.com, as it should have been done using Twitter as an accelerant. The letter X surfaces throughout Musk's other endeavours as well, including the space exploration SpaceX, his recently launched artificial intelligence app XAI, and the Model X, one of the electric car company's Tesla's earliest models. Musk even refers to his own son by singer Grimes by the name X. It's just X, the letter X, said Joe Rogan on The Experience recently, explaining how to pronounce his son XAI's name. I don't know. Did I pronounce Musk's son's name? But, like, really? Who calls their son that? I don't know. Musk regained ownership of X.com 6 years ago. He formally changed Twitter's legal name to X Corp in April. Over the weekend, X.com was redirected to Twitter.com, and on Monday, a crane began to remove Twitter's iconic bird from the company's San Francisco headquarters. However, police stopped the work soon after it began. So, what are the roadblocks? Well, to be sure, there's many ways that the Everything app could fail, from simply confusing its users to struggling to attract enough advertisers. If you look at what Tesla's done in terms of advertising, which they did very little, Musk believes is that a good product sells itself and you don't need to advertise it. But if you look through, listeners, all the different things that, like, here are some tweets, or I was going to say posts, but I'm going to say tweets because they were in the mix between Twitter and X taking over. And this is some of the AV community and what they were talking about. When I threw out that question of, is it X, is it tweets, is it posts, you go into different layers of X.com, or formerly Twitter, and you will still see mentions of Twitter all the way through the site. Even if you set up a page still, you still see the words Twitter. So not everything was changed over. So this whole rebranding plan that Elon had for X.com, you would have imagined that they would have done the whole plan at the same time and planned it out and closed the streets legally. Elon Musk is to be billed for the authorized flash sign. The sign was put as part of the company's rebrand, but attracted 24 complaints that weekend. It was taken down on Monday, and X will be charged the cost of building permits for its installation and removal. San Francisco's authority said the firm did not have permission for the sign. In a statement, officials said the company would also have to cover the cost of the Department of Building Inspection and Planning Department's investigation. X Corp has been approached for comment. It is not the first obstacle of Mr. Musk's company has run into changes in its downtown headquarters. An attempt to remove the old firm's name had to be temporarily abandoned, meaning a brief period of the letters EOR remaining on the building. And EOR, as everyone would recognise, is emergency room. Yeah, emergency room. If you want to get in contact with the program of All Things Techie, my X handle is, do we call it X handle? I don't know what we call it anymore. You can contact me on the social media X by at Justin or Dawson. At AV Tech Junkies is the name of our show X handle. Okay, if you want to contact us through YouTube, youtube.com /at Justin_or_Dawson, and we are also on Instagram as well. Are you following this so far? Are you totally confused? Don't worry, I was too. Zuckerberg is not holding breath over a Musk cage fight. It seems like Mark Zuckerberg is pushing this cage fight more than Elon Musk. It really feels that way. Meta boss Mark Zuckerberg has said he's not holding breath over proposed cage fights with rival Elon Musk. This was posted yesterday in a post on the social media app Threads. Yes, we'll get to talking about Threads, don't worry. Mr. Zuckerberg said he had proposed 26th of August, which is the end of the month, as the showdown. Yeah, I don't see that happening. You know, is either of them fit? Like, here's the question, right? If Mark Zuckerberg fought Elon Musk in a match that was streamed on Threads or X.com, would you actually watch it, and would you donate to charity to watch it? I think my interest would be, I want to see what happens here. And like, you know, I'm not a fan of cage fighting. I know I live in Ireland and Conor McGregor and all that. If it's on and I'm flicking through the channels and I have a stream for it, I might watch it. Would I pay for it? Not really, no. But maybe the curiosity would get the better of me of going, who would knock the head off one another? And who's more angry? I'd say it's Elon Musk is more angry at Mark Zuckerberg for starting up Threads, which is, I think, failing. Even though we're getting the best out of both worlds, is that fair enough to say, listeners and viewers, that X.com is still Twitter, but there's going to be a lot of changes, and I think changes for the worse rather than the better. Following a post on X in which Mr. Musk claimed he was training throughout the day, Mr. Zuckerberg wrote, "I'm ready," but he hadn't confirmed. The two became direct competitors with July with the launch of Threads, the social media app. Asked by Threads user whether the fight had been mutually agreed upon, Mr. Zuckerberg responded that it's more like a funding secured in an apparent reference to the post made by Mr. Musk in 2018, where he said the same about plans to take the electric car company Tesla into private hands. That deal never happened and led to Mr. Musk paying $20 million fine to US financial markets watchdog, stepping back from being Tesla's chairman and limits put on what he can tweet about Tesla. Mr. Musk cast further doubt about the proposed bout, saying the exact date is still in flux, as he may need surgery on his neck and upper back. The social media moguls have been edging each other in recent months, with Mr. Musk claiming on Sunday that the fight would be broadcast live on the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. He said that any proceeds from the match would go to veterans charities. When asked what the point about the bout was by one X user, Mr. Musk responded, "It's a civilized form of war. Men love war." Mr. Zuckerberg also shot back at the suggestion the fight would be streamed on X, posting, "Shouldn't we have a more reliable platform that can actually raise money for charity?" This is just mudslinging. Just put them in like a big mud hole and just let them sling mud at each other. However, Mr. Zuckerberg said later the platform had lost more than half of its users by the end of last month with Threads, drawing more than 100 million sign-ups within days, and now they have lost half of them. I think Threads needs to do something really, really strong to get the audience back. But I like you may notice I'm not even advertising Threads at the bottom of the screen here. But if you go into at Justin or underscore or Dawson on Instagram, you will get my Threads link if you want to follow me on Threads. I'm not really posting much on Threads. I might post some of these clips of the All Things TechIE podcast, but I find that it's just an extension of Instagram, being able to post longer posts and texts and videos, but I don't see the difference between Threads and Instagram still. And I don't think there will be. I don't think it was ready to launch, but it's sort of throw it out there and see what happens type of approach. Well, also, listeners, like the handle on Twitter, or X as it's called now, as in at X, was used by a user for years. The owner of the X Twitter handle, or X handle, if that makes sense, confirmed that the company known as X took over the account without warning or financial compensation, telling him the handle is property of X. So literally they went in and went, hey, you there, that's our handle, and they shut down a user's social media thread or username. The handle had previously belonged to Jean X Huang, the corporate photography and videography studio Orange Photography. In a letter, the company, formerly known as Twitter, thanked Huang for his loyalty and offered him a selection of X merchandise and a tour of XHQ. Yeah, the one that they took down the sign and left EOR at the end of it. We'll give you a tour of that, but we're taking back the username as a reflection of our appreciation. There we go. The handle X mishandling was the only one of the many haphazard steps involving the rebranding of Twitter to X, owners Elon Musk's favourite letter. According to reports, Twitter didn't secure the intellectual property rights to the X brand, as Microsoft, Meta and other has claimed various X trademarks. It also didn't get permission from the city to remove the Twitter signage of the building, as we talked about earlier in the programme, forcing police to stop the work. It didn't fully update its website and app, which now sporting an X still implored users to search Twitter or push button to a tweet. Now, that took nearly 2 weeks for them to go with the tooth comb and go, oh, Twitter's mentioned there, we'll change it to X. Twitter's mentioned there, we'll change it to X. Twitter's mentioned there, we'll change it to X. And I'm sure, listeners, it's like a Where's Wally on Twitter or X.com or the X social media. If you find Twitter mentioned in any pages, let us know with the details below, because I'm sure there is loads still in the branding of Twitter to X. I still don't get the name. I really don't get the name. I still use the social media, but as I posted on the AV community, are we known as AV Tweeps still? Since that was set up many moons ago by Chris Neto. Are we known as AVXs? Or what are we known as anymore? Or the AV in the AM. At least AV in the AM still works on a Sunday morning. But we can't really say AV Tweeps really anymore, because Tweeps is gone really off the Twitter. But we'll keep hold of it. We love it. Get in contact with the programme. You can X me at Justin or Dawson. You can X me at AV Text Junkies. That's the show handle. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/@/Justin _or Dawson. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Threads with the Justin _or Dawson as well.
Hit subscribe and don't miss the next episode. All Things Techie Podcast.
Google Maps has a new immersive view and uses AI intelligence and computer vision to fuse billions of street view and aerial images together to create rich data model of the world. With this technology, you can see all the information you need about your route at once. When you get directions, you will see a multi-dimensional experience that lets you preview bike lanes, sidewalks, intersections, and parking along your journey. So it's all live And you can use the AI as well to go, what is it like later on if it's raining? And it will show you the time slider. You'll see air quality information and how the route looks on weather changes throughout the day. You can also be prepared for jacket or sunscreen. And no matter what mode you take, AI and historical driving trends stimulate how many cars might be on the road at a given time, because the route during a quiet afternoon can look very different during rush hour. This is a new Google Maps new upgrade that's coming to Google Maps. I think this looks incredible with AI. Now, moving away from one social media to sort of another, WhatsApp adds Telegram-style video messages where you can record minute-long clips to show what you're doing. This is a new update from WhatsApp that's coming down the line. It is now easy to show your WhatsApp friends what you're doing without putting the effort to create a story or similar clip. The service is rolling out Telegram-like instant video messages that let you respond in chat with videos up to a minute long. You now have to tap and hold a button to capture footage, and you can swipe up to keep the recording while hands off. So if you are driving along, you can swipe up and save the actual video, loading up to a minute worth of recording, and then it will post it. Similar to what you do with the audio ones. Do you know what? I'm one of these people that actually hate when someone sends me a long WhatsApp voice message. It feels like you're listening to a podcast. Just keep them short. I think there should be a limitation to having an audio message on WhatsApp, similar to a voicemail, maximum a minute long. But some people send 5-minute clips of an audio telling you about something. And yeah, great. It could be important. It might not be. But I think if it's that important, phone me when I'm available. Yeah, phone me when I'm available and have a conversation with me, and then instead of leaving a 5-minute message. Are you one of those people that just grinds your gears? Let me know on the comments below. You can tweet me. I said tweet again. It's a bad habit. You can X me at Justin or Dawson, at AV Tech Junkies, and you can also go to our official website www.allthingstech.ie, where you can send little video notes through the website. Yes, through the website as well. If you want to do that, I would really appreciate it. Videos will automatically play on mute, so you shouldn't have to start anyone until you're ready to turn on the sound with a tap. Like most anything else in WhatsApp, the instant messages are end-to-end encrypted to add the layer of privacy. The feature should be available to all users in the coming weeks, the company says. This likely won't replace Telegram Snapchat for many people. WhatsApp is still dominant in the messaging space and driven largely by calls and texts. Even so, the feature might be appreciated if you'd rather not switch apps to send rapid-fire videos. You can quickly share news when text or an audio message won't cut it, or simply react to a friend with something more personal than a sticker. There is incentive for the parent company Meta to act. While WhatsApp has over 2 billion active users of last year, Telegram is expanding quickly with an estimated 700 million active users each month. Snapchat is still growing despite fierce competition from other social platforms. Apple's iOS 17 will introduce FaceTime video voicemail to iPhone users too. While instant video messages might not persuade users to sign up, it might keep WhatsApp fans from drifting toward the competition. Do you know what also I found out on the WhatsApp upgrades only recently? You can now edit your WhatsApp message. So if the message has been sent within the last 15 minutes, you go up to the top. If you posted a message to someone, you go up to the top right-hand corner where the 3 dots are, or the burger symbol as some people like to call it, and you press the 3 dots, you go to edit, and you can edit the message. Now, the receiver does get a notification that you edited the message, and that edited notification will always remain on the edited message on WhatsApp. But quite cool when you actually spell something really bad, or if you want to remove something that you shouldn't have said in haste. Listeners, what do you think about smartphones and the use of smartphones with kids? Do you lock it down? I know some of my colleagues would put on the Google apps to lock down the use of mobile phones, and teenagers are especially addicted to their mobile phones, using different apps, contacting their friends, scrolling constantly, and their heads buried in phones. But some people would even say, Justin, it's younger than teenagers. In recent years, the use of smartphones amongst kids under the age of 16 has seen a significant increase across the globe. With advancements of technology and the widespread availability of affordable smartphones, young people have become active users of all these devices. Smartphones have become an integral part of their lives, influencing the communication habits, social interactions, and access to information. Understanding these differences in the smartphone usage pattern across the regions is crucial for gaining insights into the global impact of technology on children. By comparing smartphone usage among kids in different regions, we can identify regional variations, factors influencing usage, and potential cultural or societal influences on their relationship with smartphones. This is coming from Irish Tech News. Such comparison allows us to uncover both similarities and differences, leading to a comprehensive understanding of the phenomenon. Smartphone ownership amongst kids under the age of 16 varies across different regions. Smartphone ownership among children is prevalent in North America, particularly in the United States and Canada. According to recent studies, approximately 70% of American teenagers own a smartphone, and similar trend is observed across Canada. Well, this is interesting because tech firms and tech shares fall in China, and this is a BBC News article 4 days ago, as China mulls child smartphone limits. Chinese technology shares fell after the country's cyberspace regulator recommended limiting smartphone usage of children under 18. Shares of the firm's Alibaba and video sharing site Bilibili fell on Wednesday and saw more losses early on Thursday. The proposed law would see children being only allowed to use their smartphones for maximum 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. Can you imagine pushing that across Europe and Ireland especially? It comes 4 years after children in the world's second largest economy were subject to gaming restrictions. The rules proposed by the Cyberspace Administration of China, the CAC, will also see children banned from accessing the internet on mobile devices from 2200 hours to 6 a.m. local time. So from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. local time, it bans the use of accessing the internet on mobile phones for children. The CAC's proposal requires industry players, including mobile phone device makers, apps and app stores, to develop a function called minor mode to set usage limits which vary by age. While children between the ages of 16 to 18 will be allowed 2 hours of screen time a day, those under the age of 8 will only be allotted 8 minutes. The proposal is currently open to public feedback. Technology giants will likely be made responsible for enforcing rules, much like how it worked with the gaming restrictions. Ray Wang, the founder and chief executive of Silicon Valley-based Consultation Research, told the BBC. Of course, there are workarounds. Kids can get the passwords to their parents' devices, but the general consensus is that gaming restrictions have been fairly well implemented, Mr. Wang said. Shares of Alibaba closed more than 3% lower in Hong Kong on Wednesday, and that of Bilibili tumbled by close to 7% in the territory. In November 2019, the country imposed a curfew on online gaming for minors. Gamers under the age of 18 were banned from playing online between 10 o'clock and 8 a.m. They were also restricted to 90 minutes of gaming on weekdays and 3 hours of weekends and holidays. I think this is a great move, but it also adds to what was spouted about in 2019-2020, which was age verification on websites to stop children from accessing pornography and adult sites. So is the age verification tool going to become a massive thing now with technology, with websites and with apps? Watch this space, listener. I think this is going to be a big change. We talked about data protection and kids and minors and data protections with adults. I think this is going to be the next step in technology laws. I think it's a topic that we will have to come back to on a later podcast. You can X me, Justin or Dawson, at AV Tech Junkies is the show X handle. We're on YouTube as well, youtube.com/Justin_or_Dawson. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, Justin_or_Dawson. That's on your screen at the moment if you're watching on YouTube. A new Bristol cinema will measure audience reactions. A state-of-the-art cinema will monitor audience reactions like never before. Instrumented Auditorium, considered one of the world's most innovative cinemas, will open in Bristol in 2024. It will record audiences' biometric responses, including their heart rate, eye movement, and brain activity as they react to what's on the screen. Ian Gilchrist, professor of neuropsychology at the University of Bristol, said this will provide unique insights into content creation. The 36-person cinema will open in My World Creative Hub in the Coal Shed in St. Philip's using a $400,000 grant from the Wolfson Foundation. It will be equipped with cutting-edge equipment to record data on how audiences react to the content they are watching and hearing. As well as monitoring their heart rate, eye movement, and brain activity, researchers will also observe electrical properties of the people's skin to gauge their subconscious, emotional, and sympathetic responses. So you could be watching a cinema film and it's measuring all your responses to laughter, sadness, emotions, heart rate. Is that too much? Or is that really cool because we're going to get more emotional and fearful and thrilling films by watching this type of stuff? Or are we telling filmmakers and producers too much about ourselves? Is AI once again going a step too far in this creation? Well, you know what? you have the actors on strike in Hollywood. What would they think of this matter? Well, is it gone a step too far? Being able to measure an audience reaction to a film? Let us know by the details on screen at the moment, or you can also email comments@allthingstech.ie. I like the idea, but I'm a bit weary of the idea. Again, this is where we have to have regulations on how far to push things. The instrumented auditorium will allow us to stream data that captures audience responses by movement, providing unique insights that take us beyond the current questionnaire-based methods. This is the first fully instrumented facility of its kind in the world, which is exciting not just for us as researchers, but for those working in the creative sector, providing insights that will shape the future of film, television, and beyond. I'd love to actually give this a go once it does come out and see what type of films they will put on to gauge an audience reaction. And it's a small auditorium as well. I say the tech is just out of this world in the actual cinema screen as well. 26 people that's able to use it. Well, that's all I have time for on episode 81 of the All Things TechIE podcast, where we talked a lot about social media, threads, we thrown around a catchbox, and loads of product reviews coming up on the All Things TechIE podcast website and my YouTube page. There's the details if you want to get in contact with the program. Really appreciate you listening on this Bank Holiday Monday, the 7th of August. Stay tuned for future episodes of the All Things TechIE podcast, and we shall see you very soon. Goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to All Things TechIE podcast, part of the Extreme Media Network. Follow us on Twitter @AVTechJunkies. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch our show on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/@Justin_or_Dawson. Previous episodes of our show can be found on our official site, www.allthingstech.ie. For advertising and sponsorship opportunities, please visit www.extrememedia.ie.